Hey everyone, it's Rick Theriault, your Maine Real Estate Guide, and today it's late February here in Millinocket, Maine. It's a gorgeous day, bright blue skies, sun high in the sky, fresh blanket of snow on the ground. It's just gorgeous. Makes you happy to be alive. Today I thought I'd take the opportunity, since we're still in the midst of winter heating season here in Maine. It is, after all, still February. To talk to you a little bit about heating with wood and heating in general. As you can see, my wood pile here in the woodshed's getting a little thin. Our heating season here really, I started burning wood probably late October, and have been continuing to burn wood steadily since. And when I started, this woodshed here was filled with seasoned wood. I get questions sometimes from people that ask, what type of wood is the best type of wood to heat with? And there's scientific studies out there where they measured the number of BTUs per cord of seasoned different species of wood. And by and large, we'll hit on a couple of them, like beech, and most of the pile that you see before you. This is seasoned beech. And it's one of Maine's best firewoods. It's not really good for much of anything else because our beech gets a bark disease, so it really doesn't have any merchantable value outside of the wood firewood business, and it makes great firewood because beech has about 24 million BTUs per cord of seasoned beech. And on my property, I have beech. I've got some sugar maple, I have yellow birch, I have some paper birch, I have cherry, and I have red maple. Of those, the red maple has the least amount of BTUs per cord at 18.7 million BTUs per cord. So that's a difference of roughly between red maple and beech of about 6 million BTUs per cord of seasoned wood. I also have quite a few species of softwood here on my property. I have pine, hemlock, spruce, aspen, fir, and cedar. They all exist here. Cedar having the least amount of BTUs at 12.2 million and per cord, and hemlock being having the most at 15.9 million BTUs per cord. So the short answer to what type of wood to burn while you're heating with wood is, my answer is whatever you have. I burn it all. I burn softwood, hardwood, whatever I have to utilize on my property. So let's take a little walk around and talk about that in a little more detail. So as you can see, still quite a bit of snow on the ground, but again, it's a gorgeous day. And today, my house, fortunately, this time of year, I don't have to burn nearly as much wood as I do like in November, because I'm getting a lot of solar gain. The front of my house, we're looking at the back here, but the front of my house is it's prow-faced, and it has a lot of glass, and it's got a southwestern exposure. And this time of year, on a sunny day, I don't need to keep the wood stove going at all. I could just let the wood stove die out during the daytime, and my house will maintain a temperature in excess of 70 degrees during the daytime, and in the evening, as the sun goes down, I'll start the fire again. And so this time of year, I consume about half as much firewood on a daily basis as I do during the earlier part of the heating season in November and December, where you really don't have all that much sun in our part of the world. As we take a walk down the driveway, I'll show you what, I live on roughly 9 acres here in Millinocket, and I get most of the firewood I use here, just by cutting what needs to come down or what has fallen down, and I process it all. I have my own wood splitter, I've got a tractor, I've got a few chainsaws. So, and I've been doing this I'm 60. I've been burning wood for 40, We burnt wood in the house I grew up in, so most of my life we've heated with wood. One fact about a quart of wood. A quart of wood is equivalent to roughly 175 gallons of number 2 heating oil. And that number 2 heating oil, and in some parts of the country you probably never heard of that, but here in New England, northern New England, Maine especially, we burn number 2 heating oil. It's very energy dense and it's easy to transport and keep. So for every quart of wood I burn, I save 175 gallons of heating oil. I'm going to take a little walk over here, show you a tree that I need to clean up this spring. I meant to get to this one here last year. See it covered with snow here. This hemlock tree here, last winter, it split and a portion of it fell on the ground. I'll take the rest of it down and take the limbs off and chip the limbs up. But I'll make firewood out of this hemlock tree because it's not good for anything else at this point. Also this year, one of the property maintenance projects I need to get at, and I may have to hire somebody with a bucket truck to help, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Is I really need to take down some of these taller trees along my driveway because a lot of them have reached kind of the end of their life, and they're also a danger to my power lines. So I really want to take those taller trees down, well, maybe 20 or 30 feet back from the driveway's edge on both sides. And a couple of guys in a bucket truck can make short work of that. And I'll have a couple of years worth of firewood just from that project alone, cleaning up my driveway, taking the taller trees that are a danger during a heavy ice storm or heavy windstorm and taking my power lines down. The boys are having a good time. So the short answer for heating with wood in Maine is you're going to burn a lot of it, especially the further north in Maine that you go. Up in our part of the world, I expect to have snow on the ground here into at least April. That's tends to be when we have snow up here in the Millinocket area on the ground and into April. If we're fortunate, it'll be mostly gone by then, but you never know. It depends on the spring. But I had a funny comment or call from a person that's purchasing a piece of property from me that lives in the South and asked me to take pictures of the shorefront on the lakefront land that he's buying. And I had to chuckle when I emailed him back. I said, obviously you've lived in the South for a while. Because when there's more snow on the ground right now than there was, a month ago when I first photographed the property. But there's something very comforting about wood heat. I don't know how many of you folks out there that are listening to this heat with wood, but I've done it for a long time. In our part of the world, we have so much wood around us and around, here I'm on 9 acres and it's all wooded, so just the trees standing. Oh, there's probably 40 cord per acre. So I probably got 360 cord of wood standing on the stump just surrounding my house. And then in addition to that, we just purchased a property. Some of you have been following along, on the Living the Dream series out in Springfield, 45 acres there, and that's all wooded predominantly. I've got a lot of gray birch out there, and I got to take down a lot of that this spring when I first go in, because the gray birch that's along the roadway out there, heavy snows and stuff just bend those birches down, and once they bend down to the ground or bend over the road, they're not straightening up ever again. They're there until you take them down. So I got to clean up some of that stuff. So I'll be bringing truckloads of gray birch here throughout the spring when I go out to camp to do a project on the camp. I'll come back with a load of gray birch. So, heating with wood, do I recommend it if you live in Maine? Absolutely, 100%. It's the most cost-effective method of heating your home here during our long heating season, which extends from October into April, into early May sometimes. Wood heat is the most cost-effective method. The world is advocating for heat pumps and all that sort of thing, and yeah, they're efficient and whatnot, but they're not nearly as efficient as a stick of firewood in your stove. So until next time, this is Rick Theriault, your Maine real estate guide on location in Millinocket, Maine.